Mailchimp and ConvertKit users are charged insane monthly payments while their open rates stall out. It's a mess, and today we're going to stop wasting money. I'm showing you how to migrate to System.io to reclaim your primary inbox for $0 by importing clean contacts, authenticating your email domain, and simplifying your emails so they actually end up in the primary inbox. We're cleaning up your technical infrastructure so your emails actually get delivered. Before we dive in, click the link below to grab your free System.io account and my bonus $500 kit for free. To handle the export of your contacts in your legacy dashboard, in this case here on Mailchimp, first you click on Audience here on the left, and here you can export your entire audience, but you need to be a surgeon here. You don't want to just export all. Be sure to filter for subscribed and active only, which you can do by clicking on segments. If they haven't opened an email in 90 days, they stay behind. And now we're here in the System.io dashboard. You can get here by clicking the link below to set up your free account. And what I'm going to do here is go to CRM and click on Contacts. And up here at the top right, I'll click on Import Contacts. I'll scroll down to the bottom of this page and click here to upload my CSV file that I just exported. I'll click on the file, and it says File Upload Complete. For this Select CSV delimiter, I'll keep it on comma. And then this is very important here. You'll want to select or create a tag for your imports. Here I'll create a new tag and I'll call this Imports from Mailchimp and click Save. And this is absolutely critical. In System.io, by isolating these imports, we can run a re-engagement campaign specifically for them or segment them out as needed. I'll scroll down here and click Next and click Import. Now I'll go back up to the top of the page, go back to CRM, click on Contacts. I can see here down at the bottom that the status is approved of the list that I just imported. And it will take a few minutes for this list to show up in my contacts in System.io. This is how you build a sender credit score that actually lets you scale to 50,000 plus subscribers without hitting the spam folder. Next, we're going to cover the authentication fix for your email provider. This is a technical hurdle that you do not want to ignore. In 2026, bulk senders must have DMARC alignment. You definitely don't want to send from a gmail.com or yahoo.com, any kind of personal email address. So we need to make sure that your professional email address is authenticated. And to get that going, you'll just go up to your profile here from your dashboard in System.io, click on Settings. We'll go over here on the left to Emails. And here on this page, you'll see a few things. The first section says Send Grid, and then Domains, and then here, Verified Email Addresses. So the first thing we need to do is add our email right here. So add your professional email address. So I'll put in my email address and click Save. So right now the status is pending, and we're going to go through here and authenticate my domain for this email address. But I want to point out that if you do not have a professional email address at this point, you definitely need to set that up. When you access the free bonus content in the link below, in the Get Started checklist for System.io, I have a link where you can get a 10% discount on the first year with Google Workspace if you want to set that up, where you set up a professional email address through Google. You definitely don't have to use that resource, but it's nice if you need it. And once you've added it here and it says pending, you'll go up here to the top and authenticate your domain. And the way to do that is you'll click here where it says click here to authenticate your domain. I'll enter in my domain name, which is the part after the @ symbol in your email address. So in this case, it would be systemsidekick.com. And then I'll click Save. So System.io has generated these 3 CNAME records and this text file, and these are your digital credentials. So we need to copy and paste these over in the DNS settings of our domain manager. So in my case, I use Porkbun, but you can do the same no matter what you have, whether that's Namecheap, GoDaddy, Squarespace, whatever. So I'll copy the name of this first CNAME record that I'm going to paste into Porkbun, which is my domain manager. So it'll be slightly different depending on what your website provider is for your email domain. But in this case, for Porkbun, it looks like this. You go to your domain management, and here I'll click on DNS, and I'll add my first of 4 records. So first I'll do the dropdown and click on CNAME. And I'll paste in this first value here that I got from System.io. And you'll notice as I paste this in, it's got .systemsidekick.com right here, but it also has it here. So you'll have to look at the format of how your host field is, or your name field. I actually don't need to paste the end part of this because it's already included in the name. So I'll delete that because it's the same as .systemsidekick.com below. And now I need to paste in my answer here. So I'll copy and paste it over. I can leave everything else as default and click Add. I'll continue doing that for the remaining 3 records here. These 2 are the same as the first, where you'll select a CNAME record, but this last one is different. I need to do the drop down and do text. So I'll show you this last one. I'll copy this. So this is after I've already added the first 3 CNAME values. So this would be my last one here. I'll click on DNS, do the drop down this time to text, paste in the host or name, which is _DMARC, and then copy this entire value. It's a little bit easier here because I have a copy option, and paste it here and click add. So this sets up your DKIM and SPF. So what DKIM proves is that the email hasn't been modified in transit, and SPF verifies that System.io is authorized to send on your behalf. As far as the DMARC record goes, this is a directive to Outlook, Yahoo, and Gmail that says, if an email claiming to be from my domain fails authentication, put it in the spam folder. So this prevents spoofing. That's the difference between something like a 15% and a 40% open rate. So now that we've added those records, back in our settings for System.io, I'll go back to emails, and you can see here that now my domain is verified and my email address is verified. So far, the technical infrastructure is solid and the domain is authenticated, but the setup is only half the battle. You need the actual content strategy that keeps you in the inbox. Click the link below to get started. When you sign up for a free forever System.io account through my link, I'm sending you my $500 bonus content package for free. It includes a Get Started checklist with System.io, a 30-day plug-and-play email campaign, 10 free templates with a link to hundreds more for free, and tried and true subject email lines. It's everything you need, so click the link below to get started. So now that we have our professional email address set up, and we also have contacts imported, we can start sending emails such as through an email campaign. To do that in System.io, I'll go up here to Emails and click on Campaigns. I'll click on Create. I'll give it a name. I can call it anything I want, such as Imports Re-engagement Campaign, but for now I'll just call it Campaign 1. I'll select my email address and click Save. Then I'll go into the campaign I created and click on Create. So the whole reason of showing you this is something very critical right here on this page. When you're creating an email, either an individual email, which you can do, or when you set up an email campaign where you send multiple emails, it doesn't matter. You'll have a screen like this, and you have 2 options, the visual editor or the classic editor. Absolutely do not do the visual editor. It looks great, it has a nice, beautiful banners, and it's all laid out, has a format for you. The reason we don't want to do visual editor is because Google's algorithms categorize heavy HTML as commercial marketing. If you want to stay in the primary tab, you need to look like a human sender. So in System.io, we got to use classic editor. No images, no multi-column layouts, just text and a single blue link. So I'll give this email a subject line. For now, I'll just call it example and click save. So this is really the magical thing here. When you create a very simple email that looks like a human sent it, you're going to end up in the primary inbox a lot more likely. And you can test that by, once you've created your email, go up here and click save and test. And that'll send you a test email and you can see where it shows up on your side. So here I'm going to send an example email. For now, I'll change the subject to something like, what's your biggest hurdle? And then for the email, I'll say hi. And I'm going to scroll down here and use this format, first_name, with these brackets so that it pulls in the first name from my contacts list. I'll click Save and Test and click Confirm. And here in my test email, in my primary inbox, I can see I've got the email right here. What's your biggest hurdle? So it's great there's a question in here because when your subscribers reply to this email, it improves your sender reputation. So you can see for this example email, I'm just using regular plain text, no HTML code. I've got my font size at 12 point, but you can adjust that. And for this email, I wrote, hi, first name, what's your biggest hurdle with the software so far? And then I have, here's more information about our latest product updates with a link to my site. Best, the System Sidekick team. So just a very simple email. It helps with engagement and directs the customer to your site. Now I'm going to switch to Visual Editor right here. Use this first template, click Confirm. And here I am on the template. I'm going to click on this email. So as I go through and edit this template, I'm going to paste in the same text that I used on my plain text email. And I'll delete some of these sections, edit some things here. So I'll scroll down here, and at the bottom I have my call to action button where it says learn more here. I'm going to paste in the same link I had as before. For this image file, I'm also going to paste my link. So if someone clicks on this image, it directs them to the same place. And now I'll go through and delete all the stuff I don't need. I'll delete this and a few other things. I'm going to delete this image at the top. So on my visual editor, I have a little bit of text, an image, and a button that is a link to my site. I'm going to save the changes and exit. Now I'm going to send this same draft email to my test email. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this arrow and go to Save and Test. and confirm. So I'm back here in my Gmail account, and this time instead of showing up in the primary inbox, I'm in the promotions tab. So I'll click on this test email I just sent, and here you can see it. It's very similar to what I originally sent with the plain text, but just because it's the visual editor and it has a few more things, it is more likely to end up in your promotions tab than the primary inbox. Your email list is the only asset you truly own. You want to import clean contacts, authenticate the domain of your email, simplify your templates by using plain text, and stop losing money to the spam folder. So go try it out. Click the link below to create a free System.io account and grab your $500 bonus kit for free to get started.